to Tata Nzambi, Yahweh Congo. To him be all the praise, honor, and glory, all the Kimbo. I thank the Most High Yah for all his great blessings, small and great, and all blessings are great coming from the Most High. So, after my last video, my last message, it's been on my mind to point out different deceptions, and there's so many. I mean, the deceptions are all around us, and some of us know, some of us don't know, and even some of us that are awakened don't realize a present deception in our face. So if you start back in the garden, this deception started there. And I just started watching one of Brother Trey's latest video, and he talked about, I was at the point where he started talking about doubt. We doubt the Most High, and that what got us in trouble each and every time. And so, before I go off on a tangent, deception is all around us. So, I don't know how many of us watch television, but here's one off the top of my head. Sports. I was a big sports fan. Played sports, played a little football, in the street, in the military, ran track, played a little softball, baseball. My brothers played baseball. My dad played football. We always wondered, because he had a growing up. My dad had this newspaper clip from when he made a newspaper by tackling some dude. And the time that my dad played football, they played that Iron Man football, where they the offense played defense. A lot of the players that were really good played offense and defense. It's Iron Man football. Anyway, basketball, most people don't realize that it's all set up to the winner of this game, that game, whatever, are already predetermined. So I'll give you an example, the best example I possibly can. So when I became fully aware, now I say it like that because when I was a child, very young, going to church, my father as my pastor, on the Sabbath day, on the Samba. I think we was on the way to church when this came to me. So in my head, I took it as a thought. But I was like 10, 11, maybe I was I don't think I even was 12 years old, 10 or 11 years old. The thought came to me that you're a natural born Jew. Now, back then, I didn't, a lot of the stuff I know now, definitely didn't know back then. And the word Jew being a fabricated word, completely made up. But just as using that as a point of reference. So, 30 plus years later, things start happening. And I was on Facebook. See, this is probably like back in 2014, about 2014, 2015, around there. 2014. Old friend that I haven't seen in a long time. Friend requested me. And I happened to be at that time married to his cousin. And so we start chopping it up. And at that time, I had been every day coming home from work. I would read a chapter or 2 chapters of the first 5 books of the Bible, the law, the Tula. And so he asked me to read, and I just had finished reading the last chapter of Deuteronomy, and I was getting ready to start all over again, start reading the Tula again. And he goes, I want you to do me a favor, read Deuteronomy 28. I said, okay. I said, I just got finished reading that. I just finished the book. I'm getting ready to start all over again. Just go back and read Deuteronomy 28. And he says, this time read it aloud. Would you hear yourself talk? You can hear yourself read. And I encourage everybody to always do that. When you're studying, reading the scriptures, always read out loud so you can hear yourself. Faith come by hearing, hearing by the word of Yah. Okay. So as I'm reading, I get to a part about, because I just had recently seen a picture or something of one of our ancestors with this chain or this thing around his neck where it had it's like a collar, and he had these spikes coming up like this, right? And when I read in Deuteronomy about the chains about their necks and stuff like that, my eyes just bucked, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I finished reading it, and more it's like validated. So when I finished reading it, that scripture came to, that event in my life about when the Most High told me, I at that time I didn't know it was the Most High. I just thought I'm just thinking something. So anyway, all that flooded back to my mind, and things made sense to me. So certain steps I didn't even think about doing, I just automatically started doing. I stopped shaving I stopped shaving, and I stopped cutting my hair. Back then I used to keep my hair short and brush my waves up and stuff like that. And once I basically in my mind acknowledged that I was a descendant or a blood relative of the people of the book. And so when I start watching TV, I start seeing things way different. I started seeing stuff that I never noticed before. I started hearing things I never heard before. And so, get this heater on, sorry. Okay. Maybe that made it more clear. Sorry about that. So, watching football, I always enjoyed watching football. Dallas Cowboy was my number 1 team. Always liked the Raiders and the Panthers. So watching football, I started noticing things. So the year that Peyton Manning announced his retirement. He said, like, this is going to be my last season, right? And right then I said, they're gonna let him get in the Super Bowl, and no matter who they play, he's gonna win the Super Bowl. At the beginning of the season, football ain't even started yet. I mean, the games have not even out. I don't think it was preseason, might have been already over, but the main games, the ones that count, hadn't even been played yet. I knew it. So that season, Cam Newton from the Panthers had a breakout season and just was killing it, right? Breaking records, the number one offense, I think the number two defense, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, wow. So when the time was for the Super Bowl to come, I said, they're not going to let that black man win that football game. They're not going to let him win the Super Bowl. How do you have the best team in football not win the Super Bowl? Peyton Manning was never that good. His little brother was a lot better than he was. Anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent on football. But the point I'm making is, it's all distraction. Sports is a huge distraction because we want to attach ourselves to something that has really nothing to do with us. These men on the field, men on the court, men on a diamond, playing a game, one team, two teams, and a group of teams, and we pick a team, or this is our favorite team, but it's something that physically we are detached from, but we mentally attach ourselves to it. And it's a huge distraction and a deception, because it's all designed for a chosen person or team to win. So another example, when you hear the terminology conspiracy theorist, most people don't know that I think it was the FBI has came up with that term, conspiracy. If FBI or CIA, I think it was FBI, came up with that term, conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory. Well, was the assassination of JFK a conspiracy theory, or was it a conspiracy? Martin Luther King, was that a conspiracy, or was it a conspiracy theory? So when you go down the line and you start looking at little different events in the past, and you start doing research on them, the heliocentric model, is that conspiracy theory, or is that actually conspiracy that was done started hundreds of years ago? But before the Roman Empire, every nation knew that the world was virtually flat. And I'm not saying flat like a pancake. So if you go online and you look at the look up Hebrew I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. But if you type in how the ancient Hebrews view the world, and these different drawings or depictions of a flat earth on top, and on the bottom it had like like a like a like an orange on the bottom, or it's not completely rounded, but there's like where it's Shaul down below within the earth itself, but the top surface is virtually flat. Of course, it has mountains and everything like that, and there's a dome, right? So once I ran across, this is another one. Once, when I was a kid, walking home from school, learning about the solar system. It's called the solar system intentionally. So when you really look at things, the names of things, the names of planets are all Greek and Roman gods. The days of the week, Greek and Roman gods. The months of a year, if you do enough research, you'll find out that all those are origins of Greek and Roman gods. One or the other, or both. So, telling me when I was like 6, 7 years old that the earth is spinning and it spins around the sun, and the sun just sits there, and that never, as a child, that never made sense to me, because I'm trying to feel the earth spinning, and it just never made sense to me. Some people count it as nothing, not important. All truth is important, no matter what the truth or false is. It's all important, because they're trying to distract you from the true and living Yah. That He is close. The sun and moon are close. They all know, and they give themselves away on, when you do enough research on this topic. I don't want to go off a tangent on this, but you go back and find out that it was the Roman Empire that created the heliocentric model as we know it today. It came from them. It came from the beast, the mother of harlots. That's who the Roman Catholic Church is. Catholicism, the Roman Empire. We're still under that empire. The second Roman Empire never left power. It just changed the way it looked. Deception. Every religion, Christianity, Muslim, Judaism, all those they're tied together under the Roman Catholic Church, the Roman Empire. Why would they start Chrislam? I hit on this last Sabbath. La Samba. Chrislam, the one world religion. Why and each individual religion in itself believes that they are the true religion. So it's deception. How technology is developed. Believe me, I seen this in different forms. The technology that we know exists right now, that we know that we can get our hands on and participate in it, whatever have you. When they release it, they had developed it like 20 years before time. So the things that are not out yet. They have technology right now that's 20 years beyond what we have already, if you understand what I mean, that they have not released yet. They just have the way they operate and way they do things is they do research on people, and they have done research on us. That's why they're able to maintain their power, because they research us, and us as a people, we are our own worst enemies, because we struggle on being unified as a complete and total people. We struggle with that, and they know it, and they strive on bringing the dissension and uh, division among us. And another thing is your leaders. We as a people never appoint anybody leaders. They appoint leaders for us. You ever thought about that? Who appointed our Al Sharpton as our leader? Just because he's black. There has always been enemies among us in the motherland, in the land of Congo, in the continent of Africa, wherever black people are, they plant enemies, that somebody that look like us, to deceive and to whatever. Did you check out the chemtrails, like I was saying? So right now it's 6:45. I gotta go clock in. But I'll hit more of this later. So peace for now. Good afternoon. So as I was saying this morning, I remember when I was a kid. Not a kid, but a teenager, or a young teenager. And let me turn this sideways. There you go. And they announced on the news that, because in living in California, sometimes rain doesn't fall that consistently. So at that particular time, probably somewhere in the mid 70s, they talked about cloud seeding. And this is back in the 70s, cloud seeding. But you never seen anything taking place in the sky that resembles, how do you seed a cloud? So these things come up to my mind when I see these chemtrails, and the word chem, CHEM, short for chemical. And that's what they're doing, but they're not seeding clouds, because there's no clouds in the sky. And they spray, whenever. I don't know when they spray, but most times they spray in, you can see the patterns in the sky. That's just something that you can actually see as a deception. The network news I talked about before was started by the CIA. Religions. When you seem like things would be like obvious to people, but when you read in scripture, you don't read about any other religion or any other people that was chosen by the Most High. Even when you get to the New Testament, it states by the Messiah at the well talking to the woman, saying that salvation is of Yaoundé or Judah. And what's crazy to me, I heard in a song, I can't remember the name of the song, but one of the lyrics says that you love Jesus, but you hate the Jew, right? And I thought about that. It's like, wow, that is so true. Because what's crazy is the Klan is notorious. The uh, alt right or the white supremacist groups, they all hate the Jew and the black, which is very never could wrap my mind around that. But it's really crazy. But nonetheless, all these things are deceptions, distractions, uh, sorcery. There's so many things that are in the world that is set up as distraction and deceptions, and they're all done and given instruction, influence, and power to do these things by the enemy, by Hasatani, Satani, the devil, and all his ministers. You gotta remember that the Bible says that Satan has transformed himself into an angel of light. How much more shall his minister do the same? Now, it's not quite verbatim, but it's pretty close. So if Satan can change himself to an angel of light, he's a shape shifter, and his ministers have the ability to do the same. So there's so many things that I cannot state them all. You ever had that experience where things come to your mind, and when you want to verbally express them, it all just blocked away? The Most High ain't no joke. And there's so many traps that are set in our path. And so many lies and deceptions. It's just crazy. This company I work for, I won't tell you. I can't tell you because I might end up getting in trouble some kind of way. But the system, the healthcare system, it's not geared to heal people. It is geared to keep you coming back, spending money, insurance, out of pocket, whatever. It's never intended to heal you, no matter what is your ailment. No matter what is your ailment, the medical system is not, the Western medical system is not made or created or designed to heal you. That's not the way of the Most High. The Most High does not halfway do anything. When he heals you, he heals you. When he delivers you, he delivers you. I'm a witness to that. So anyway, just want to be encouraging to you to really buckle down in these last days. Start seeking the Most High. Just, if you really don't know how, start by talking to the Most High. Now I know there's many people, people call him by different names. I was I was the same way, so I don't really condemn people for using different names. But when you have a desire for truth above all things, the Most High has a way of bringing truth to you. Now, we always have to try the spirits, whether it is of the Most High or not. And the Most High can give you an internal mechanism to cause you to realize, okay, this is the Most High, and there leaves no room for doubt. I'm a witness to that. Our forefathers, our ancestors that knew the Most High had experience with the Most High, where they knew, even in the atmosphere of just so much sin and just abominations everywhere, that when the Most High reveals himself to you, he can reveal himself to you where there's no doubt. But you still have to be careful. The Most High is not going to condemn you or condemn you for wanting to be careful, because we're living a day of this massive deception upon deception upon deception, and Satan is busy because his time is short. So let's be aware. Study thyself, approve unto Yah, a workman needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. The word was given to us to rightly divide it and give it to other people, mainly our people. So fast, pray, praying while fasting, that your fleshly nature, your carnal nature, will be subdued by the Spirit. That's the only way to really conquer your fleshly desires. No matter what it is, no matter what's your shortcomings, no matter what faults and failures we might have, the only way is to fast and pray. And I encourage you, if you have never fasted before, just start half a day. Commit a half a day of no food, no water to the Most High. The night before, drink enough water that will carry you through. The Most High, when you do things for the Most High will and can carry you through. Can and will carry you through. This is about trusting in the Most High, not in ourselves. We have no ability to come out of this present situation or any situation unless we give it into the hands of the Most High and do things how He had commanded us to do things and taught us in His scriptures. Even though the scriptures have been given into the hands of the wicked, as the earth has been, but it still has truth in it. And the Most High can reveal those things to us. He has, and He is, and He will. So just want to be encouraging to you. Just know that deception's all around. Deception is on the rise. It's written in His Word. And just to close out, the United States don't have any enemies. All this, like the balloon, so-called balloon, that the Chinese balloon floating over U.S. airspace. Come on, man, really? And I heard somebody did a video that China that said they've been doing it for years. Come on. Have you ever heard of radar? Come on, man. U.S. has technology that they know when something is coming into the airspace. All these are deceptions, and like, it's just ridiculous to me. We have to learn to see through things. Don't believe nothing you hear on network television. Don't believe nothing you hear. It's they put truth in movies. See, this is one of the biggest deception. How they tell you one thing, and they will literally tell you the truth on network television. I watched the episode of South Park, the recent episode of South Park, and in the episode, it showed the little fat boy has a little angel he called um, Cupid Ye. Now Cupid Ye is supposed to be uh, like a thought of or a depiction of Kanye West. So in this episode, um, the little black boy named Token and um, Kyle, the little Jew boy, is making videos together, little TikTok videos together, right? And Stan and Kyle supposed to be best friends, and Stan is hurt because Kyle is making all kinds of videos and spending more time with Token. So it's funny. I'm sorry, just thinking about it. So the little fat boy, Cartman, Eric Cartman, he somehow starts talking to Token and telling him, "Yeah, Token, um, uh, is Kyle is you don't think Kyle's taking advantage of you and you know, you guys become famous and he's gonna take all the money," and he's saying all kinds of stuff, you know, stereotypical things that that it's known about that people. And so he's like, "Get out of my face, stop talking to me." So the little Cupid Yee, it's a little figure, right? It's basically his imagination. So Cupid Yee starts talking. Did you do what I said? Did you tell him that he's a chose that Token is a chosen people, and the Jews stole their identity, and that the Bible is actually talking about you and your people, Token? And I told him that. He goes, "Don't worry about it. I'll go talk to him." So he breaks in so the QPD breaks in his house and says this stuff in his ear. He says, you know, that God's taking advantage of you. You he stole him and his people stole your identity. The Jews stole your identity, and you are the actual chosen people of the Bible, right? So this is an example how they literally tell the truth in movies, cartoons, um, to, you know, it's funny, but it's not funny because it's truth. And they're mocking. This is how they mock. This is how they mock the truth. But truth can only be hidden for a short for a time. Truth will never just be forever hidden. That just doesn't happen. And I told you before, we're in a separation time. This is separation time. This is the separating of the wheat and the tares. This is just the sheep and the goats. who will follow the Most High and who will not. These ABC camps and all these different Hebrew denominations and stuff like that. These are all deceptions, especially the ABC camps. They're deceptions. If you are a 501c3, you're not of the Most High. If you're a 501c3, you're not of the Most High. That's plain and simple. Because to do the Most High work, the Most High gave us power to do His work. He gave us abilities to do His work. We don't need government intervention or in any shape, form, or fashion to do the Most High work, because they are of the devil. They are of Satan. They are the spawn of Satan. And people that have no melanin in their skin, it's a curse. Go to Leviticus and read the law of leprosy. So I'm going to close with that. Be blessed to the Most High Yah, Yakongo. To Him be all the Kimbo, all the glory and honor. To Him and the 24 elders. And that's something I've been thinking about doing a video on. Something that came to me about the 24 elders. But I'll seek the Most High about it if He wants me to do that. So anyway, let the rest of your day be blessed, and stay in the Spirit. Stay in the favor of the Most High. Do not give into your flesh. Do not give into the inklings in their, the things that will separate us from the Most High in any shape, form, or fashion. To Tata and Zombie, Yakongo be the glory. Peace.